Travis Campbell.
Here.
Bill Cooper.
Here.
Ira Hawkins.
Here. I make a motion for the approval of minutes of 3/24/2015 mailed to us.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Now, I would also like to make a motion to amend the agenda. A couple things and all. First of all, Kevin Johnson would like to talk to us all. Come
Want to
on.
do it now?
Yeah.
Where at? Right here, right on there. Okay. Above, yes. First thing, we had a S10 pickup, four-wheel drive, it's from Conservation. I'd like your guys' permission to turn that back into them, since we got the new truck. We don't really need this vehicle anymore. That way we can take it off of insurance. It's one of the trucks that's on their old program. We didn't get the title or anything. You use it till you don't want it, then you turn it back in.
No title,
Yeah, so I'd like to.
And old Sandy or something on it?
No, it's 98, I believe.
Do they, Kevin, do they require they turn it back?
Yes, it has to be turned back into them.
Can't be used anywhere else or anything else?
No. No, it's strictly fire department use. That's why I said it's on their old program. The new program, they issue the stuff out in 4 years, you get the titles to those. But the old program, they never issue titles, so it has to go back to them.
Under those conditions, I would see, anything we could do with it, you and anybody else.
And they give, it was issued to us.
It was issued
As a return item.
like in 07, 08, something like that.
You know, there's no use to put paying insurance on something we're not going to use.
And not have the title. I mean,
Yeah, we could get the title, and then the truck keep around. We don't have the title, so we've got the new truck, so.
anybody want to make a motion here and get a roll?
Well, how come we never got a title?
It's on their old program, and that's the way they did things back then. After those was issued out, they changed the program with Department of Defense and everything, and the Department of Defense said, we don't want the vehicles back, we'll issue titles, and so Jeff City issues titles. So it's just on what they call their old program.
It carries their license tags too,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
it's got-
That's why I thought that old program.
License plate, conservation license plate on it, so you can't write that off either.
Well, I don't see a reason not to return it to somebody.
Yep. If we can't use it for anything else.
I make a motion to go ahead and return that back to conservation.
Got a motion, we turn the truck back to conservation. Got a second? I'll second. All those in favor? You know?
Okay, the second thing, I appreciate that vote. The second thing, I was contacted by Mr. Graves from Architectural Systems. I have to go up and do a walkthrough and sign some papers for him from DNR. I asked him what this was for, and he said it's due to the chemicals they have up there for their painting and whatever else they do. And I said I needed a list of those chemicals and what you have up there before I do anything.
Where's that at?
It's that new plan.
Architectural system,
Yeah.
there's no factory. And he advised me that he had given the city all the paperwork before. And I said, I never received it, who did you give it to? And he advised me to give it to Jacob, and I've never seen it. Did he give you paperwork listing all the chemicals about 7-8 months ago?
Yes, because 911 needed new contact information. I don't remember if it has the chemicals on there or not, though. I think it's just contact
He
information.
said he gives you a list of the chemicals.
Okay, I can,
And that's a safety issue towards us. It was his his understanding it would be passed on to us. So anyway, I just wanted you to be aware of that, and I'm going up either Thursday or Friday, do my walkthrough. Talked to him again today, and he has a new contingency plan that DNR told him he had to have in place. So when I get all that, there'll be a copy put here in City Hall on what's going on up there.
Yeah, I might, you might want to ask Victor if he'd want to go with you.
I was going to,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
but I don't know what.
everything we're talking about
Right.
Got
comes
it down.
comes down his drain, yeah.
You want to go with us up there, or do you just need the paperwork, or?
On the chemicals out there?
Yes.
Yeah, I grabbed some material data sheets when I went out there the other day, but yeah,
Okay.
I would like to go with you too,
Okay.
sure.
We were up
When
there
I set it
Thursday.
up- When I set it up with him, I'll let you know when.
Yep, that'd be good, thank you.
That's all I've got.
Thank you.
Do we have anything in the ordinance on that as far as,
It's state and federal regulations, like fast trip, snack attack, even burying them when they was out there, they sent me MSDS sheets. So I get those, when MoDOT was out south of town, I even got them from them.
we probably ought to, don't you think, maybe in the future, work towards getting something, because I went up and done, walked through their plant, seeing what's going on. It'd be, I think, better for everybody, you
Yeah,
guys,
that's why I
everybody
said bring it.
involved, for us to
I'll
put
be
an
here.
ordinance into effect for in the city, we have to do, because, I mean, Lord knows I don't want to discourage growth, but
Right.
we need to know,
Well, there's
As a-
state and federal
yeah,
regulations.
but as a city, we need
Right.
to, because in a deal like that, something happens and everyone's
Nobody
not
knows.
aware of it.
Exactly.
Kevin, are they required to post them up there?
They have to have their own safety sheets.
Because I know APAC, down here where they had their paving equipment park,
Right.
they had bulletin boards
Yeah,
down there with all their
yeah.
MSDS sheets on.
So, they have to have some kind of safety sheets up.
That's
Needs
right.
to be somewhere. And it may be in an office, but
I don't, like I said, I didn't remember seeing them when we were up there Thursday
they may
in
be
that.
in one of the offices.
in that hallway, I
or
thought
the
that'd be-
break room. A lot of people, a lot of places put them in their break room.
Most plants have 2 or 3 locations where they have files of MSDS sheets. Usually, it's around an area where you'll have an eye wash station or something like this, and that's part of the OSHA regulation.
We probably ought to work on getting it where everything is accessible and everyone,
Right.
I mean, we need to know where all this is at, so we don't end up with a mess like we had across the street.
That's why I was inquiring about, 7, 8 months ago, this paperwork supposedly went out, and we never got copies of
Now,
it.
who gave it to you, Jacob? I'll just-
Dispatch contacted me and asked to go get current contact information for the operators up there because they didn't have anything on file. I'm pretty sure the only thing I have is a sheet that has Graves' contact info on it. But
He just told me that he gave us
I'll pull it out and
all
double
the
check
list
it.
of chemicals that they have up there, and I said, I've never seen it.
We
So,
probably ought to try to work on an ordinance where they have to keep it up to date at City Hall and have all this stuff, so there's,
yeah, because Jim might need it. Like they said, Victor definitely would need it out there,
yeah,
and we need it for fire.
that's very pertinent information.
Yes. All right, that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Okay, we got a guest here, is that going next? Sharon Hunt requests a business license for Sharon and Company Cleaning Service at 107 South Center Street. Is that you?
Yes, please.
Okay. Gonna be something new, aren't you, in town?
We are new in town.
I think I met your husband one night time when he come to City Hall.
Yes, sir.
Good to meet you.
And I've had a cleaning service for many years in Texas. And we've now moved here, and I'd like to start that up here in this area. Surrounding around.
I guess if you need a license for that, I suppose we could furnish one.
Business license.
It don't cost much either.
You do like residential, commercial, or what?
I will do both, but I won't do a huge commercial.
Commercial.
Yeah.
You might campaign for City Hall later.
There you go. I've done City Hall before.
Hey. I'm not sure they need one now, but at one time they did.
I'll make a motion to grant Sharon Hunt as Sharon and Company Cleaning Service at 107 South Center Street, a business license.
Here a second on that?
I'll say.
All those in favor? So you know, you got a license.
Thank you.
You'd be able to pick them up in that girl right there
Well,
at City Hall.
at City Hall. Sharon. I'll get it from
All right,
Sharon
actually, Sharon.
tomorrow.
Okay, moving right along. Old business, approval to accept the amended liquor license. You guys have to approve and fill them all out, right?
I'd like to make a motion at this time, because some of the procedures that have to be followed on the readings and everything not being entirely clear on it, to table this until the next meeting. And we can go over the procedures and make sure that the bill reading and ordinance numbers are correct.
I'll second
Got
it.
a second on that? Okay. Refer to the next meeting. All in favor? Say no. Okay, applications for a new city clerk.
Myself, I think we need to take and have a special meeting with the full council to sit down and go over all the applications and try to pick out who we're interested in and who not. Then call them in for interviews, but we need to do it as soon as possible.
There was two that came in today that I'd like to look at a little
Yeah.
deeper.
I would go for Thursday evening if the rest of the council agrees. That way we have, you know, a little bit of time, but we've got to get something going on.
I'm okay with Thursday evening myself, as early as you can come, maybe.
About 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Do it.
I don't think we'll get there about 9.
I'll make that as a motion.
I
For-
second.
Okay, what time?
What time?
6:30,
6:30, is that where you need to be? Okay.
please.
For 6:30 Thursday evening.
6:30, Thursday evening. All in favor, a second? All in favor? There you know. Okay, this is just, yeah. Okay, Vicki Wright was hired as temporary court clerk. Resignation of Christine Forstad, school crossing guard. That's only school clerk only. She still works at City Hall, but she's given up that after the last day of school.
Summer school.
Summer school.
Oh, the last day of summer school too? Okay, last day of summer school.
So basically, before the school session starts again, we need to make sure somebody else is there.
Okay. Joanne Lamp was hired as temporary office clerk. Everybody know Joanne? Okay. Brandon Gibbon was hired as full-time laborer. That was
The maintenance department.
maintenance department for Jim. County Board.
To cover Lance that went. to
Cover
the
Lance,
baseball.
yeah, Lance went full-time to wastewater plant. Okay, canvas, Oh, I don't know, well, we got something to do with that. Canvass, April 7th, 2015 election result. Is there anything we have to do about that?
I just have to read the results.
Oh, okay.
For the city of Granby Mayor Bob Snyder got 17 votes, Roger Kenney 6, Martin Winstead 10, Travis Gamble 247, Charles Bish Jr. 6, Craig Hopper 102. For the city of Granby Municipal Judge, Steve White got 364. For the city of Granby City Collector, Sharon Stevenson got 327. Writing, Paula Carsell got 45. For the city of Granby North Ward Alderman, Will Barrett received 75 votes. Bobby Brooks received 42 votes. For the city of Granby South Ward Alderman, Tim Murphy got 91 votes. Andrew Farmer, 21. Ira Hawkins, 109. Sean Turner, 3. Pat Kelly, 49.
That's it, huh?
That's it.
Okay,
Oh, you have to approve that.
I make a motion to accept and approve the election results of the canvass of the April 7th, 2015 election results.
second on that.
Second.
All those in favor? 3-0. Okay, Kelly, are you taking over here?
Well, I guess if you guys want to be sworn in, you need to come down here. Mr. Barrett?
Swearing out comes later.
Okay.
Trust me, I know.
I got to leave you
No full body shot. Tuck your coffee.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I didn't say it.
Let's go. This is what somebody
He's not even wearing his hat today, boy. Down to church.
He needs that hat, but it's gonna put a glare on everybody else's picture. Between him and the judge. It'll equal out though, because they're on each end.
Raise your right hand.
The other right.
Anyway, this is on the
State of Missouri,
restart.
County, City of Granby, I, Sharon Stevenson, do solemnly swear that I possess all the qualifications of the office as prescribed by law, that I will support the Constitution of the United States and of the state of Missouri, the provisions of all laws of the state affecting cities of this class, and the ordinances of the city of Granby, and faithfully demean myself in office, so help me God.
I said, no, she said.
Now, I need you guys to sign one and give it back to me.
Now strike up the band and release the doves.
Yeah. Well, pigeons. Pigeons.
Pigeons?
Yeah, we got them out of the church down there.
Good luck. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Sorry. It is. Go over just a little bit. Thank you for asking. Sure. He said the kids were too
That's what they do. They've always done it before.
They try to scandal reign of terror.
So you take it with you. All right, Joe. Don't they usually like pull Rich's name in and give it for Rick, Jay? I'm trying to get Jacob to do it.
Yeah.
Like, no, I ain't doing it. That's my souvenir.
Yeah, that's your souvenir. Still
We'll come down there tomorrow and cables and put that other in.
We'll call the meeting to order. Kelly, do we need to do another roll call?
Travis, you're going to have to move that microphone closer to you.
Out of order.
Well,
And you're going to have to be closer to it.
Okay, Bill Cooper,
Here?
Will Barrett,
Here.
Ira Hawkins.
Here.
Okay, let's call the meeting to order. I'd like to start off by thanking everyone for their support, votes, and myself and new alderman. Today's the first day of the rest of our lives here. So let's work together, stay focused, make some changes. First thing I want to do is for everyone to be as transparent as we possibly can. Answer the questions that are asked, straightforward. We've got a lot of issues going on that have been trailing us for years. I don't want anybody to look back, assign blame to anyone in anywhere. We got to move forward. Looking back and placing blame is just a waste of time. There's a few things that I am going to be fairly diligent about. The departments are going to have to work together. I want good communication with everyone. Everyone. At the end of the day, if we don't work together, we're not going to get anywhere. I want us, we start out today, everybody with a clean slate. Whatever's happened in the past is just right there. There's a few things that I am going to require. I want everybody to be forthcoming. I don't want any elected official or city employee to debate our town's problems in public and not go to the person where the problem is. If we got a problem, we need to work it out. Going out around town, that don't fix it. That creates more problems. It makes the city look bad. We're all adults here. I expect everybody to act like it. Like I say, we're starting out brand new and fresh. But if I want everybody to run their department and their department alone. If there's an issue, come to me. We'll work through it, one way or another. No one is in charge of policing anyone else's department. I won't tolerate it, and the actions will be swift. If you've got time to worry about what somebody else is doing, come see me. I'll find you something to do. We're not gonna play that game. Those days are behind us. Move forward. I want to be as forthcoming as possible, but I need you people's input on what your problems are. I'll make time to listen, and we will address the issues. I want our meetings to amount to something. I want to solve issues. We're going to have probably a lot of work sessions because we need it. We've got a lot of issues. I've never been shy of the fact that I'm not real big on closed session meetings, but they are a necessary evil in some aspects. As far as litigation and things like that, we've got to do it. But I will be as forthcoming as I can be on what's going on. But I want to be clear, there are three things: hiring, firing, disciplinary actions, and litigation. And that's all they're going to do. And like I say, I want everyone to stay informed, be informed. I'm tickled to death with this turnout tonight, and I'd like to see everyone at every meeting. I'd like to see this place packed. I want you all to know what's going on, and I'm going to tell you what's going on. Some of it, I might be ashamed of it, but I'm going to tell you. So, with that, let's move forward. We can all work together. I'm going to demand that we work together. There's no more separation. No more. We don't have the time for it. We wasted too many years of working against each other. It's not us against them. There are no them. It's all us. It's Granby. This town's been going since 1850, and I will be damned if I see it fall apart under my watch. And if anyone has the idea that they're going to stick a stick in the spokes of progress, resign now, because I will not tolerate it. We're going to work together. By God, we're going to fix this town. Thanks.
Travis, as a side note, Andrew Farmer has been taping these meetings. If anybody wants to catch those online.
Yes. And we appreciate it. Anybody got anything to add to that?
Yeah, I do. I'd like to take and see the citizens here in town, just like the turnout tonight, get involved. Every meeting, get involved. When you come in here, you know, and you're trying to bust your buns and all for the benefit of the city and all and the citizens, and you see 6, 8, maybe 9 people sitting out there, that's not good. And then the next thing you know, you hear all this going around. Of course, this is Granby. It's always been that way. Come to a meeting, though. Get involved, please. And I hope this council and all, and everybody, all the citizens know, don't turn around and look back this way. We ain't going that way no more. No, we're going this way. We've got to. There's too many issues at hand right now. We can't look back. That's all I have.
Anyone else? All right, the elections are over. Let's get to work. I would like to, with the council's consent, suggest an appointment to fill out the remainder of my term. My choice, with the council approval, is a person that has sat in this very seat, has been on the council. They've been out of the public eye for some time. I have faith in them. They bring quite a few things to the table. You'll never sit around and wonder what they're thinking. Been a part of this town for as long as I can remember. And that is Joyce Mann. If anyone would like to make a motion or follow up on this, I would appreciate it.
I make a motion to accept Joyce Mann to fill the North Ward vacancy.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We could have a vote. All in favor? 3-0. I would also like to reappoint Mr. Bill Cooper as Mayor Pro Tem.
I'll second that. All right.
I'm not making a motion. I moved 2 seats to the east.
I made a motion to allow Bill the opportunity to be the pro temp, continue on.
I'll second. We have a motion and a second. Take a vote. All in favor?
Thank you.
2-0.
Thank
you, sir. Okay, I guess we're prepared to move on to new business. Public Works Superintendent, Mr. Jim Channel, Mango Summer Safety Conference for June 24th, 2015 through June 26th, 2015. Registration price is $90. Mr. Channel, would you like to step up here, please?
It's our annual conference I go to each year. The Mango's Missouri Association of Natural Gas Operators. We get like kind of in their accredited hours for training and stuff like that. So we went through, I went through, this will probably be about my 17th or 18th conference.
Like the Ozarks.
Yeah.
I make a motion to let Public Works Superintendent Jim Channel attend the Mango Summer Safety Conference, June 24th, 2015 through June 26th, 2015. The registration price of $90.
Second that.
The only other thing that'll be on there will be like a motel stay. If it is, and I'm not sure, do you remember how it said, it's like 110, I think?
Called about that.
I think it was 110 a night, wasn't it?
It's 100 plus 5 and some tax or
I
something.
think it was 2 nights, I believe.
Don't be saying circus, sir.
Okay.
Where you sleep in the truck.
Yeah, can you sleep in the truck? We have a motion made and a second. All in favor? 3-0.
Thank you.
Number 2 would be Police Chief Jacob Kelly, discussion of police personnel.
First off, the police board had a meeting last week. I got a couple of reserve spots I want to fill. One of them is a kid that just got out he went to the academy in 2010. He hasn't worked anywhere yet, so I'd like to get him on his reserve and get him started to see what he's going to need to get up to product speed. His name is Tyler Pruitt for Neosho. The other person interviewed was Jason Deno. He's currently on the police board, but he's wanting to get back into law enforcement. He worked several years at the sheriff's office. He does have there are some concerns about his ability to shoot to be able to perform at the range. So his commission will be dependent on whether he's able to pass our range qualification, which will be here in the next month or so. We'll get that set up.
These two have already been vetted through the personnel board and
Yes,
been
sir.
recommended.
Does that cause a conflict with him being seated on the police board?
Well, there's a question about that. There isn't anything in the ordinance against that. The only restriction are elected officials. So that's up to you guys whether that's going to be a conflict. I told him that he may have to decide whether he wants to be on one or the other.
I think it was one of those things that we probably never thought of whenever the ordinance was put together. I would suggest that we contact our city attorney on that. I don't want that to turn into an issue.
I think it'd be better as a council if we just went ahead and basically said he can if he qualifies and passes your necessary requirements that he resign from the police board.
It would be wise. It would be very wise.
And in the meantime, I think we can go ahead and approve it in the ways. If he has met the necessary criteria of the police board, and you feel okay with that, I would move to bring him on and we should probably table Jason until we have a chance to
Pending qualifications, if he can.
That was supposed to have already happened, but with Chris Miller being our range instructor, he was off on military all last month. So.
Is that going to put you in a bind doing it this way?
No.
Okay, can we just reflect that motion as stated?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? 3-0.
Are you accepting information or point of information from the floor?
If you care to be recognized, yes, sir.
Sure.
Mr. Lundstedt?
Did this Jason Janow, he used to work at the jail, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I want to tell you about Mr. Jason Janow. When I was in jail on that bogus child molestation charge, well, it was him and another woman named Farrar. What happened was that he decided to get into an argument over me, with me. Him and Farrar. What they did is that they put an unlawful restriction of privileges for 7 days, Farrar and Denham. They did, they literally violated law because the purpose of a jail is to make sure that somebody goes to trial, who cannot make bail. Now that was totally illegal. The $100,000 cash bond was totally illegal.
Ask you a question.
Sure.
Is there a formal complaint filed on this?
I filed a complaint every single day. In fact, I filed 2 or 3 of them here, and that was another thing.
How was it resolved?
It was resolved to where essentially jail personnel can do whatever they want.
Oh.
But in case Mr. Denham pretty well denied me, because of his behavior, denied me from seeing Roxy before I got sent off to that house. I'm just simply saying, Mr. Denham is an absolute amoral fuck. I would just assume you didn't consider it.
Okay. Well, if you want to put that in writing and send it
Well, I
to
will
City
put
Hall,
it
I
in
would consider it.
Okay. I just simply wanted to make it for the point as to what sort of character Mr. Dow has.
Okay.
As, I'll probably be making the same complaint on another one.
Point taken, like I said, if you want to put it in writing and drop it off to City Hall, I'll consider it, sir.
Okay.
Yes, well, yeah, yes, well.
Yeah. Next.
The other thing is to report that Lindsay Dooley has given her notice of resignation. Her last day is going to be Saturday the 18th. So that's a full-time position we're going to need to fill. Currently, I don't have any reserves that are interested in it, and I'm not comfortable with either of these 2 new picks, just throwing them straight into a full-time position. So I'll put that out for advertising. We're going to be filling a full-time spot.
If I could make a recommendation, I think the last avenue we took with the Joplin Globe, and I know it's rather pricey, but I think we got a good reply, good response from that. I think something to consider. I don't know what to do, but I think the last few avenues we took on advertising. An idea, somebody wants to jump in.
I'd make a motion to advertise for a officer for the Granby Police Department in the Neosho Daily and the Joplin Globe, Newton County News.
Yeah, are we competitive now, money-wise? No, it's going to be a shot in the dark. So I will second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion made and second. All in favor? Side note on this, Mr. Kelly, I'd like for you and the council to get together ASAP and work on some scheduling and stuff on, like I say, we have a gap in coverage. I'd like to see us resolve that. Obviously, our budget is limited. We're not going to be able to really extend it out there that much. We're going to have some serious budget issues to look at soon. But if you could work on that and see if we can come to some kind of conclusion, maybe some consideration. Take an action.
Sounds good.
Thanks, sir. Okay, wastewater superintendent Victor Coughlin, wastewater issues. Your list just keeps getting longer, son.
So there's items I'd like to try to work on. We just received today a certified letter from EPA anticipating that non-compliance. They're wanting us to enter into an agreement or negotiations on items that will.
Let me interrupt you for a second, Victor.
Yep.
Mark, can you guys talk about this after the meeting, please, sir?
Sure. Received a letter from the EPA, certified letter, that we're in non-compliance, which we know we were, that they want us to enter into an agreement with them on different points of just bringing the plant into compliance. Haven't had a chance really to look it over very well. Be wanting to talk with Gene about it too. May need to get a copy of that to the city attorney. But just putting that aside, for March, we did not pass or meet our average ammonia limits, so we will receive a notice of violation for that. I think I have corrected what that problem may be. It was low dissolved oxygen readings in the basins. I've increased that. I've been working with the manufacturer of the SDRs on how to make those changes. So I've done that, so we're hoping that'll come around. Just take a little bit of time to see if those changes help.
Excuse me, Victor, just a minute. A copy of the letter from the Environmental Protection Agency, Will doesn't have one. Is there an extra copy?
Correct. I don't know if
is there an extra copy, anybody?
I don't know if anybody or everybody's gotten them or not.
I was gonna let him have mine, but you know how I am about that.
It's mine now. Kind of what I handed out with some different items that are addressed in that EPA letter, you know, to help stop these sewer overflows or bypasses. And I've listed some items there that I think will give us, you know, some good results. First thing I want to do is get the trash that's collected in the main lift station down there cleaned out. I've got Hillbilly Pumping and hauling. They can do that for about $1,500. I've got them scheduled for next Tuesday along with your all's approval. You know, if not, we'll just cancel. One thing I'd like to do also down there at the main lift station is the pumps are controlled by floats, which aren't reliable in that situation. The water's so turbulent. There's so much trash and debris that hangs up on those floats and causes malfunctions. I'd like to replace that with a newer technology at an approximate cost of $2,000. Third item, need a replacement pump that could go into either the Hebron Road lift station or the Tower Road lift station. Both of those stations should have 2 pumps in them. They each have got 1 reliable pump in them right now. There is a second pump in there, but they're wore out. They just won't pump anymore. We've worked on them and adjusted them as far as we could, and they just won't pump. What I would like to do is purchase a new 10 horsepower pump. I've gotten 2 bids, one from USA Blue Book for $4,500. Covert Electric was $6,700. So the Blue Book one is a lot cheaper. So what I'd like to do is get a new pump, install it in one of those stations, because they are designed to have 2 pumps in them at all times. I'd like to put in one of the other pumps that are non-operational or pumping very little, have rebuilt, take its Covert at an approximate cost of $2,200, depending on, you know, what all needs to be repaired in them. And fifth item, I would like to start, I've gotten a bid for the equipment to install a trash removal system or a trash basket down there at the main lift station where all the sewage would go through this basket, strain out the trash and debris, and then we can just crank it out with a winch and clean it weekly or whatever needs to be done. The equipment costs about $4,000, and I put in maybe $6,000 for installation. I need to get some hard bids for installation of it, but I'd really like to get approval, get going on that. Those are some of the items that were just kind of highlighted in the EPA inspections, that these were some of our real problem spots. Down there at that main lift station, you know, we've had it overflow, flood a house, flood out in the fields. They want that to stop. And they have in their action item there that they want that corrected. I believe it was within 60 days. So, you know, that's something we need to really get jumping on. So we're looking at about $20,000 in repairs that I would like to go ahead and get going on and get lined up.
On this number 5 here, Victor,
Yes.
when Richard and myself met with you and Gene,
Yes.
and there one night, this is a deal that you guys was talking about?
That was
The
in that.
trash deal, no?
Yes. I mean, they've got different grades of them, but this is one that I thought would work for us. It's the least expensive. I mean, they've got some systems that, are automatic augers that will remove the debris, around the clock, 80 grand. This one would just be manual, get in there and crank it up and clean it out. So it's a reliable system.
Obviously, we basically have no choice, but this is something I would like to have an update on as soon as possible. Kayla, this is going to kind of fall on you and the girls next door. I'd like to see kind of where we're at on our credit line. I'd also like to see our revenue increase since the rates went up. Kind of see where we stand on this. Obviously, I don't want this to turn into a credit card we max out and wonder how we're going to pay for it. And we've got to move on this, but we need to be. I know this has been talked about, voted on, and done, but I've yet to hear exactly where we stand on the financial side of it. I know it's been hectic, but if you could, kind of give us a...
Yeah, because the initial deal was 100,000.
Yeah, we could blow through that pretty quick.
Travis, is some of this reflected in the, in these sheets and the revenues that have come in the month of March?
I think some of it, but
my thoughts were, I think, and I was looking through some of this today, and you are correct that needs to be looked into, but I think we're okay. I'd like to know when we're supposed to make the payments on the...
Any idea on that? How this is set up?
Quarterly or monthly or...
Kind of...
The way I had understood it was as we purchased something, we would send the invoice to them.
What we do.
But as far as a set time, no. I never heard anything about that.
Let's,
there's got to be a
I
time,
talked to John Harders, and I was thinking that he said the first payment, and I'm not real sure, I'd have to go back and look at the paper, but I thought he said June of 2016 would be
I was
the first
thinking it was
payment.
over a year out.
Yeah,
I remember
it's
right.
over a year
we
out.
still need to make sure that we've got the funds set aside, because I don't want to end up maxing this deal out and then...
Month,
He hasn't, they
March and
haven't
then closer.
paid very many invoices as of yet.
If we can, I'll get with you.
Okay.
Make sure we're on the right page here.
But I think we're good for this, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
This points us in the right direction.
Yeah, I do. I just, like I say, I just want to make sure that we holler before we're heard.
I make a motion to do these projects as they come, up to a total of $20,200.
I'll second it.
We've got a motion and a second. All in favor? 3-0.
Okay. Go on
Where's the good news at?
that. We're putting out clean water other than ammonia.
Very good news.
We are testing the water that's going out 24 hours a day around the clock with this new composite sampler. We're doing it 7 days a week, so anytime come down, we can pull it out of that sample container and look at it. And for the last month, it's been going around the clock. We're only required to do it, well, now weekly with the EPA. They want us to start testing weekly now. And a lot of that was due to the, prior results being inaccurate. Really, there was no way for us to be trying to design a lot of the things we need to as far as plant upgrades. We just can't rely on those numbers. So with this new testing, that'll help us out, kind of see where we're really at. So.
Very good.
I'd like for yourself and Gene to take and, if you want to meet sometime, I'll keep us
We
informed up to
definitely
date.
need to be spending a little bit more time, especially in light of this new, they've got real short time frames on this. 11 to 7 days, we need to respond, or if we want to do some negotiating. There was another 30-day time period in there, so we need to be moving.
If I could suggest, like I say, apparently we're gonna have a work session meeting Thursday night at 6:30. Gene, if you could make it, and you can make it big. Also like to get the city attorney there and get everybody in the same room, and everybody on the same page. I think that, you guys, and I want to assure everybody, we're making progress. It's gonna be slow. We got a long road ahead of us. We are making progress. You guys can do it.
And also that way we'll have a full council.
Yeah.
And Gene, like when we met up there and all, they told us they'd give us 60 days,
Yes, sir.
but they wasn't gonna give us 61.
No.
You know.
So,
No,
we've
they're
got-
wanting us to relook at that too, that,
Say again?
oh, they're wanting us to relook at that 60-day plan.
Well, I
As well.
received a letter today, my copy, and you should have received the original,
From DNR.
that established their approval
Yeah.
of that short-term and long-term plan they
Yeah.
submitted.
Well, then in this letter,
What-
now they're saying. we
You're
need-
dealing with two different
I
groups.
know, yeah.
And
Yeah.
the crux of the matter, that's a consent order. What we've been doing with DNR has been, how do I want to say it? They want us to recognize our situation and respond how to correct it, which we have, and they've approved that response. These people here are looking at your situation from an entirely different perspective. And they're demanding, in effect, actions within certain
Yeah.
periods of time. And it's well we have this meeting early with your attorney there,
yeah.
because you're dealing with some legalities
Yeah.
here.
Well, if that'll work for you guys, 6:30 Thursday night.
That'll work.
We'll get on the same page. There's a lot of things that I think we all need to be brought up to speed on. Good things can come from it.
Is this an open meeting to the public then?
It will be. It will be. Okay. Bills to pay, balances on hand, city clerk, collector, wastewater, police reports. Aside from one updated to the last page, which yours is probably correct. I think everything pretty much as it is.
The last thing.
Third error on that, but it was probably correct.
He should have an amended last year.
He does have a,
Underwear.
I had it on here, I took it off. So we need
I'm gonna bring it up.
I would like to, in the near future, us to, when we kind of get more on a straight path here and everybody gets more acquainted with what's going on, I sure would like to change up these reports to where it's so easy anyone could read them. I've been here for a year and I still don't understand everything. I understand it, it's just, sometimes it takes a long path to get there. I'd like to work with Brad. No, I'm just, I know we're a creature of habit here the way we've done it, but I'd like to change this up to where it's more lined up and more line items, and I would like to in the future see a lot more description and a lot more, it's just too random now. And I think we have implemented a few changes, but I'd like to see this report in the hands of all the department heads at least Thursday or Friday before the meeting, and I'd like them to go over, agree with it, initial it before we see it. It's just going to have to be a little bit more precise. I know for a fact we don't see every expenditure that goes out, but we'll work on it. We'll get there.
I'd like to see a inventory report from each department so that we know that this is legit, you know. I know that it's easy to lose wrenches, screwdrivers, this and that and all. Because I spent the biggest part of my life selling parts and all. And I always like to see them come in and all and buying that stuff. But I've always said, if it was your stuff and it was your money, I don't think you'd lose near as much stuff. But, you know, that's just me.
Well, I'd like to, within the next couple of weeks, I want to have meetings with all the department heads and go over a few things. I want their input. I'd like to see some changes on things. So it'll make things easier on everybody. We've all got, that will be given to all the council before we leave, a copy of the employee manual handbook. I'd like you guys to go over them, read them, understand them. I think there's some changes need to be made in them. And I think in the near future, we need to get with the city attorney, sit down. There's some ordinances that aren't good, need to be updated, need to be changed, made more user-friendly. And when we go to change these ordinances, we will do it in a work session type meeting. I invite the public to be there, see what it takes to change them, see why they're being changed, and see, you know, so that there are some of them that you read them, I don't know how they're supposed to be enforced. I mean, some of them are ancient. Some of them, I'm sure, city employees and stuff aren't even aware of it. I think the ordinance book has been taken very lightly. There's rules and laws for a reason. I expect them to be enforced and upheld. It's for the town's good. It's for the employees' good. It can only work out. Any government has to have rules, regulations, and live by it. And we're going to do it. There's going to be no more. I don't believe in gray areas. They're black or white. It's right or it's wrong. I don't believe in living in a gray area. And for too long, there's been too many questions, and however many people you ask is how many different opinions you'll get. And I can't run that way. We run blind too long. The facts are the facts, and that's the way we're going to do it. It will only work out to better the city.
I think if the public really would come and see what all is involved on writing an ordinance, the changes that you have to do and what it takes to do it, you folks be amazed. I mean, it's not just this is what we want. The heck with you, you know. You can't do that.
Well, we had such a wrestling match with just a code enforcement officer.
Yeah.
We hire one, we tell him what to do, and then he goes and does it, and he comes back, and then you actually have a talk with the city attorney and all this stuff, and we've wasted 2 months. You know, we hire professionals for a reason, whether it be a CPA or a city attorney or whatever, and if we don't listen to them, we're wasting money. And for too long, you know, I can safely say right now, there isn't an attorney or a CPA sitting here in my up here in front of you. So that's the way we're going to act, Rod. We're going to hire people that know, and we're going to listen to them, and we're going to do it right. And give us some time. It's going to take a little time to get everything rolling. There's been a lot of things happen. We've got a lot of big issues, but I want us all to be patient, but I don't want to waste one day of our terms here. We're not gonna drag around and keep dragging it out and hope it's forgotten or lose track and lose our train of thought on this. We got to stay on the ball. I'd also like to meet with all the boards. I want everyone in communication. I want everybody to know what everybody else is doing. And if there's a problem, I want to solve it. I want us to work together to solve these issues, because there's no sense in having all these boards and these groups and these organizations if none of them can get along and none of them know what they're supposed to be doing. Whether it be the community board or the police board or the economic development, I'd like to meet with you guys. I want to meet with everybody, and we've got to have communication, because if nobody even has a clue what the other one's doing or can do or can't do or whatever, it's nothing but chaos. And that's what got us where we're at. Some people aren't going to like this, some people are going to love it, but bear with me, it will benefit this town.
Travis.
Ma'am?
On the reports here, you all have copies of the first quarter of 15 tonnage report. I did not write it on here, but this has to be approved according to our recycling grants.
Okay.
And it's got to be advertised in the paper.
I'm locked down here. I've got too many papers in front of me. Give me just a second. So the total tonnage is 15.72, is that correct?
But that's what's on there. I can't remember right off my head. Of the tons.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
This has to be reported to our Region M on the quarterly report,
okay.
which I've already
So
got.
we need that in a motion to?
Yes.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the City of Granby's first quarter tonnage report, January, February, March 2015. Totals is 31,445 pounds. Tonnage is 15.72.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? 3-0. Thank you, Joanne. Okay, does anybody have anything to add to this? Yes, sir.
In light of your wanting the public to be involved, I might suggest at the end of the meeting, open it up for question and answer. May not be any questions or answers, but just open it up and give people opportunity to express their...
Okay. That's what we'll turn this into. I'd also like to add something real quick. It's my plan with these other guys and soon to be gal, their cooperation to every quarter to have basically a open session type meeting. We can either have it here, and if we get too many people here, we'll have it at the community building or someplace where we actually tell you all what we're doing, what we've been doing, what progress we've been making, and let you guys hear what we're doing, and we want to hear what we're not doing. And I want to be very open about it. I mean, I don't want to have one every other week, but every quarter I'd like to have one. It's the only way where everybody's going to stay in touch. And I also want us as a council to work on long-term goals, short-term as well as long-term, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, and keep everyone interested, keep the ball rolling. So I'd also like to see department heads set their self-goals and meet with them quarterly and see how they're doing. If it's a problem because of funding or personnel or whatever it is to solve the problem. It's awful easy to say, well, I want to do, watch out there again. I want to do something great and wonderful, but that you've got to set your goals within reach. But, and, you know, if it's a lack of funding, well, how can we budget this? And put it before the people and keep everybody informed. Now, that's the only way all this deal is going to work together. I think in town for so long, people thought, I think that's why there hasn't been a very big turnout here. I think that's why there's not a big turnout for people wanting to run for office. They think it doesn't matter. Their voice doesn't matter. Nobody cares. They're going to do what they want. They don't give a damn what we think. Well, I do give a damn what you think. And I'm going to be sitting here listening. And I'll do my best to make it happen. You know, if we can't do it, it's got to be realistic. But, you guys have got ideas that we haven't even thought of. We can sit here and tell you how it ought to be, but there's always somebody that's got a better idea. But unless we ask you, unless we give you an opportunity to voice it, yeah. But this is going to be kind of different for the way city government's been running Granby all my life. But I care it, and I want you guys to. And I'm sincere about this, very sincere. I have nothing to gain from this except making the town I was born and raised in better. And that's it. That's what I'm here for.
The public is where we're sitting at right now.
That's right, and I won't let you down. Anybody else got anything to add to this? Questions? Answers? Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a drop dead date of when you guys will have a city clerk hired? Because in my opinion, you aren't going to get anywhere unless you have somebody sitting in that office.
No, my personal thoughts on this are, I think we've got 2 more applicants that we don't have the paperwork in front of us. We've got them within the last day or so. In my opinion, obviously it's just in my opinion, I would like to see us as a council go through a phase to where we sit down, we kick it around, we just start eliminating until we get down to 4, then 2. Then at that point, we start checking references, we interview. I also, probably with the council's approval, we'll get our CPA involved in it as far as interviewing, excuse me, on the applicants, what they credentials and what their knowledge is on accounting. I just want to make this decision one time. I don't want to regret my decision. And we've got some very strong applicants, what I've seen, and I want us to make the right decision. Granted, we're stretched on how we're doing it, but I'm not going to jump and wish we had waited and got the right person. And my thoughts, I'd say within 30 days.
Well, Thursday night's going to be the start.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be, I want everyone to feel very good about the decision, and I want to know that this person is the right person for our fit. And I think that we need to sit down and go over exactly how we want to implement this person into the job. I think it's a recipe for disaster to bring someone into a job that we have some questions about procedures. Some procedures need to be changed, obviously. But until we get all that worked out, I don't want to bring someone in and say, figure out what the last person did. That's not fair. That person, I don't want someone to come in and try to figure out what's been done for the last few years and have their daily job task ahead, because it will stress that person out and it will make them fail. It just, I'm sure some people could do it, but I'd like the office of City Hall to be a little bit more sound. And it's going to take some professional help from an accountant to come in and assure us where we stand in every department. I don't want to go at this. I want to know beyond a shadow of a doubt we're doing it right.
Did you make an okay to pay bills and such? Yeah.
No, not yet. I don't want to take and hire somebody in 30 days later or 90 days later and all things, you know. But before I go ahead and make a motion to accept and approve the bills, I want to thank Kayla very much for stepping in. She's had a heck of a time.
She has.
Trust me, I've been down here at least every other day, and you can't believe what she's been through, is still finding. Thank you.
I want to thank all the personnel at City Hall. You guys have performed
Done a
when you were needed.
great job stepping up.
You bet. Now, I'll make a motion to accept the bills. Balances on hand, city clerk, collector, wastewater, and police department reports.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. All in favor? 3-0. Does anyone have anything else? Yes,
I have
ma'am.
one quick question, Travis. The budget that you guys are looking at, did that come off the book?
Budget.
The
The
budget,
report.
the report?
This,
No.
no,
Okay.
no.
Is it
So
something?
it doesn't have anything in QuickBooks, you don't have anything in QuickBooks that has your budget or anything?
Not entirely.
Okay.
Not entirely.
So
That-
it's
That kind
something
of goes back to the issue.
It's just an
that you-
Excel sheet, is what you're saying?
It's something that Brad Taylor's creating for you.
It's an Excel sheet.
Kind of per se.
Yeah, okay.
That answer was about as clear as mud, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I have a quick comment.
Sure.
Whenever they had these Roman generals on the Lake Republic, they had a triumph. They always had a slave, right dressed, going and whispering in their ear, say, "Remember, you are mortal too." So, Travis, I'm going to go ahead and just tell you that you're mortal too. I really like listed, and well, I really like the results of the election here. I made it quite clear that as long as anybody other than Craig Hopper won, I would be happy. And at the 10-day forum, I went ahead and talked about the council critter meeting where Craig Hopper had the then Mexican chief of police go ahead and beat me up while I was handcuffed.
Let's not get too off the rails.
Okay, not too often. And I did chew on you for interrupting, taking 3 minutes after my rant against senile inbred, but in any case.
Let's play right.
All right, well, you always got to worry about what I'm going to say, Travis. But in any case, I sort of, you mentioned about where the belief was, or I think Mr. Cooper did, about how the belief is guilt. There's not very many people here because they say these people will do whatever they please to do. And I remember, it was the first time I got into politics, I was running as state representative. It was made by a woman named Cherokee Sue. And I says, "Why don't you vote? Why don't you go down to these city council critter meetings?" And she says, "They'll do whatever they want to do." And about a couple of years later, one morning, her house blew up because of the gas line or something like that here. I think the people of Granby, you do have to get things in order. This place has been not well run for better than 20 years. You do have to get the sewer issues fixed. You have to get a number of things done here. But you were saying that they had ordinances and they had the rest of them here. I've seen to where when it becomes inconvenient, those ordinances or whatever, they're not made, or they're not kept, or they're not obeyed, or it all depends. I think it would be enough for you to go ahead, sort of get Granby back on the rails here. But don't expect that you're going to make this place a paradise on earth.
Let me tell you, I never give up. I am mortal, but that was then and this is now. And it's got to start somewhere, and it's going to be today, it's going to be right here. I believe in multitasking. There's going to be 5 of us here. Things don't get in disarray overnight, but I believe in setting my goals high and always achieving them. And we will do this. And I'm very confident in the people we have. I'm very confident in our city employees. I think, I don't know how around, and I won't waste time. And as long as we all stay on the same page, and if people disagree with me, I expect to hear that. I'm very approachable. I love to argue, as long as we leave on good terms and we both agree to disagree, and maybe we'll learn something from each other. I think I was taught when I was young in life, you don't learn something every day, it's a bad day. The only way you listen and learn is by listening. So we'll get through this. We will. It's not going to be, tomorrow you're not going to open the door. It's not going to be a cathedral or anything, but we'll get there. Trust me.
All right, well.
That's all I ask.
Trust me. Okay, well, time to tell
I'll stand out there on the sidewalk or across the street or down the street, whatever and all, and I'll joke and cut up and BS with anybody. But when I come through that door, and I have a council meeting, it's business. Now, after it's over with and go back out there, we can go right back where we was. But in here, this is a business, and you've got to treat it and run as a business. If not, you're up a wet road.
We'll get through this.
We appreciate the hard work you guys are putting in. I mean, everybody here has probably been coming in here for years and seeing people that really didn't care. And I think everybody here probably sees a change.
Well, I appreciate it. Like I say, I don't demand respect. I believe in earning it. And like I say, we're all starting out. Everybody that works for the city that's elected, we're all starting out brand new here tonight. Let the past be just that. I don't care what's happened, but I expect a lot out of the city employees. I do. And I know they can all step up to the challenge. And like I say, if not, we'll handle that as it comes. But we're going to make the best of this. We're all in this together. You guys is paying your taxes and working hard and all that stuff. You want to see something on it. Not a bunch of excuses and BS. And, if we fail as one. If we win, we done it together.
You cannot.
I won't accept failure.
You can't have a meeting and keep tabling stuff from one meeting to the other.
Yeah, that's good. We don't like that. You want people want answers. They don't
If I can, I'm just poor old high school graduate from Granby High School. God bless them. I'm old school. What I've always done is I take and put a lariat out there. And you got the end of it. Now you just tighten it up around your own neck, and when it gets there, then it's going to happen. But you tighten it at your own pace, now. That's all I got to say. If nobody else got anything at all, I make a motion to adjourn.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Thanks for coming out, guys. All righty.